I'm Andy.
I'm Melissa.
And I'm Jack.
And together we're working on restoring our sailing yacht.
Some of you might think we're crazy taking on the challenge of restoring this boat and creating a life less ordinary.
And we're sure there will be blood, sweat and tears, but it'll all be worth it when we embark on our epic adventure around the world.
Hello, welcome to Sailing Melody. All four of us are at the boat. Me, Dad, Pip.
And Mum?
Mum.
No, do that the other way around. Me, Dad, Mum and Pip. Yeah, no, he pointed at you and said Pip.
In this week's episode, we work on Jack's cabin, start work on the bathing platform, and of course do some more welding. We were so engrossed in our work, we didn't notice that the lens of our camera was completely scratched. And unfortunately, the first part of this episode, the footage is a bit blurry, so we do apologise for this. Please stay with us, the footage does get better. However, we filmed so much we didn't want to delete it all.
I don't like that.
You don't like using the cutting disc?
No, it's scary.
It is scary, but the more you do, the less scary it gets. The old bathing platform, sugar scoop, whatever you want to call it, got this plywood top, which actually had done pretty well, but it was delaminating and falling apart. So we're going to put a steel top on this with a hatch in it, so we can use this space to store ropes and what have you. And also we can get into there to dry it out if it does get water in. But I've got to get off all of the rest of this old wood and do any steel repairs to the framework before we can put the steel top on.
So, it's my turn. That was a bit out, and I'm scared. I don't like it. I don't like it. Andy, do you mind doing the rest of this bit?
Where are we up to? Well, that side's all clean. We've opened up much better access. We've still got to build steps and the floor, and there's loads and loads and loads of work to do. This side we've also started cutting out, we've cut out all the steel we need to. There's going to be a wooden fascia on there then with a proper little door and what have you on both sides. So that's progress is going on. And then outside, what's going on outside? The wind's calmed down a bit. We're just about to have a coffee and we've been taking it in turns to do this. We've removed all of the wood from the sugar scoop and we're getting all of the old screws out. Where is Anne Hatch? Anne Hatch is here. Hang on. Hang on. Here is Anne Hatch. So, in the bathing platform, steel will be Anne Hatch, which was £15 or something. What have you done? You are? Oh dear. So this is Anne Hatch, and so it means we can store warps and fenders and other stuff in the bathing platform, and we can get in there to inspect it, and we can get in there to do repairs, paint repairs, metal repairs. Hang on, I can do it. So there you go. So in theory I could climb into the bathing platform. There isn't room in there for me anyway, but there is Anne Hatch. And of course got this off eBay for 20 quid or something, and that's fine, and it's black and I don't really like the colour, but it's going to have the wooden slats over the top anyway, so you're not going to see it. And we could always paint it in some epoxy. Anyway, it's fine in black. So that's going in the bathing platform. Melissa's just bashed her finger getting the last of the screws out of it. Do you want me to get it?
No. It's always the last one. Always.
It is always the last one. Do you want the impact driver?
Yeah.
Melissa is making a polythene template.
Oh.
Battling the elements to make a polythene template. Would you like some welding clips? No. And I'm eating biscuits. because that's the kind of supportive guy I am.
Right way, one way's the wrong way.
There you go. That there, perfect fit.
You can't fall off, didn't you?
No, it's inside that lip, and I've got to cut a hatch into it. This is Mick, everybody. Mick's the old man of the yard.
Call him
The rest
old.
of the old.
21.
Yeah. Mick's come over to have a look at what we're doing. That's in. It's going dark, so we're not going to do much more tonight. Okay, so before we put on the new transom top, the sugar scoop top, and clean all that up, there's a hole at the bottom of the transom which I've cut out, which was old steel, and there's some corrosion in this corner here. So I'm just going to spend some time prepping this area this morning so that I can weld in some new patches there.
Right, we're just templating this hole up, ready to weld in.
It's welding time again. We've spent the whole day cutting out loads of templates, loads of patches and stuff like this. It's always better, as well you know, and as many of you tell me, to do as large a patch as possible. And I completely agree. And there's a couple of pieces in the floor where rather than use lots of small patches, we're going to use one big one. But these bits today are just the last couple of patches in the transom, and it wouldn't have been worth taking the whole transom out. Got a couple of pieces to go in the transom itself. This bit goes in the back of the box in the floor for the steering. Some people have commented actually asking what this is and why we didn't get rid of it. This whole box here is actually, that's the top of the rudder post, and that's where the steering system sits. And we did actually contemplate bringing the whole floor up to that height, but that would have just been a mammoth job and no benefit to the work. So, but there's a bit at the back of there that we've got to replace. This here is the top of our emergency tiller. So we've got a square spline here. We did think about moving the wheel forwards, but then we would have lost the use of the emergency tiller because the wheel would have been in the way. So we've left the wheel where it is, the emergency tiller goes in there, and what was on top of it was a piece of plywood, just literally a piece of plywood, just Sikaflexed on top. I want to put some sort of system so that I can get at this quickly. I'm thinking about a piece of UPVC soil pipe, which would be about the right diameter, with a screw in top and a rubber flange, and Sikaflex it down or what have you, bond it down, and that way when you do need to get to the emergency tiller you can unscrew it. But if anyone's got a better idea of some sort of metal fitting that's 4-inch diameter or 5-inch diameter pipe that's got a screw in top, that would be really useful.
Don't do any welding before you tell me to put the thing down.
I won't. You got the magnets?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Mask down.
Yeah. Annoyingly, we've run out of wire. We have got more, but it's always when you're in an awkward position or something like that. So we're going to drink a cup of tea and carry on. Right, so it's the first piece welded in. On to number 2.
Okay.
It's up on the most forward bit and down on the aft bit. That's 2 pieces welded in. Piece 2 was a fail. We need to fiddle with that a bit more to make it fit, but with it in the lazarette floor, that's welded in, so that's good.
That's it. Now stop every now and then and make sure you're on track, and you are. And that there is a perfect weld, like that. Try not to stick this panel down because we'll be lifting that one off. And that's the sound you want, like foundation. When it starts to spatter like that, you're either too far away, or you've not got, or the gas is getting blown away or something. That spattering means that the weld isn't happening in an inert atmosphere. It's happening in oxygen, which means your torches are probably a fraction too far away from the weld.
And I'm aware that I'm not wearing the right clothes for welding, that I wasn't going to weld. For those of you that have stuck around to this point, I just want to say a big thank you. The footage is about to get better.
Do you want to be here?
I don't know. Yeah, probably. Does that look okay though?
Yeah. So, day 3 of our stay on the boat, working on lots of stuff. Yesterday we had a fantastic day putting patches in the transom, and the continued work is on the back end, as you know, in the cockpit, sorting out the new cockpit combings and the lazarette in Jack's bedroom.
But it's raining.
And today it's raining, so we're going to be working indoors, but thank goodness we've now got, I think, a pretty sealed boat at the back there. I found one drip earlier, which I think is from where there was
A tiny...
no, there was a fitting for some wires to go through the deck, and that's got a drip coming through it. But something has arrived in the post for us again. We've got some amazing followers on Patreon and YouTube and what have you. And one of our followers, Alden Kramer, mentioned him last week, has sent us an incredible package. Look at this. I'll fetch box number 1. It came 2 boxes.
All the way from America.
This has come all the way from America, these boxes. So, in box number 1 is... Hold it up.
That one's for me. I like purple.
Hold it up. Number 1. Second t-shirt.
It's nice.
That one's for you. It's got a dinosaur on.
Yeah, and Golden Gate Bridge.
Third t-shirt has got
Flags.
Alameda, California. It's
Nice, lovely.
Yeah. And here's the those are fantastic, lovely. We shall wear those, but we won't wear them to do dirty boat work.
No.
Here's the exciting bit.
Unless they're full.
No, they're not.
1
Wind.
Lumar size 43. Take that, Jack. In fact, do you want to move over this way so maybe we can put them on the seat in between this? Okay. Lumar size 43. Another Lumar size 43. Hang on, hang on, hang on. There you go. So we've got a pair of 43s. And in the second box, we've got
More winches.
a Lumar size 30. And these are 2-speed winches as well, which is fantastic. And another Lumar Speed 30. So, along with the winches that we've already got, the original Enkers ones and the Harken ones that we got from Reese from Sailing Zora, let's go outside and have a look how they're going to look on the combings.
So that's down. Bend your knees.
So what we've now got are 2, 4, 6, 8 winches. The exact position of them is yet to be determined. 2 on the top of the pilot house are, on the starboard side are the main sheet controls for the reefing main, and then on the port side are all our halyards. So main halyard, Genoa halyard, spinnaker halyard, topping lift and staysail halyard. On the coamings we've got the two small winches at the front, which are the roller reefing for the Genoa and the main sheet. Then the next two winches back, the two in the middle, they will be for the sheets for the staysail, and the two big Harken winches at the back are our Genoa sheets. So that's the layout. We're well catered for in the winch department now, thanks to Alden Kramer and thanks to Reese from Zora. So yet again, it's a horrible day and we can't weld outside, but that's okay because we got most of the welding done yesterday. We're having a quick tidy up, and what we want to try and do today is mock up some temporary kind of mock steps down into the aft cabin area, which we're going to clear. These steps here are kind of mocked up in some scrap wood, and we've been kind of living with them for a bit. We don't like them. That top step isn't necessary, this bottom one's too small, so we're going to change the configuration of that. But by mocking them up in some scrap wood is actually really helpful to put them there, live with them and see what you like and what you don't like. So what we're going to do today is very similar. We're going to put this piece of boarding back down, clear out this area a little bit, and build some temporary steps down into the aft cabin so that we can go up and down here and start working on prepping the metal and repainting the inside of there. But just live with those steps for a bit and see whether we like the drop, whether we like the size, whether we like the angle, and then we can build them in some proper wood later. But we've got tons of scrap wood, so it makes sense to do it this way.
Sponge that
We'll do
out.
that whole test another time.
Sponges though.
Pardon?
But I hate sponges.
Why?
I just so.
What I will say quickly is we did clean this all out and scrubbed it and cleaned all the dust up. So we're not sending Jack into a horribly dusty environment. It's just bits and pieces from yesterday.
Yeah. Jack, you've got your goggles, you've got your gloves, and we're going to make a set of steps, a temporary set of steps, to go down there into your aft cabin. So the first thing that we're going to do is put back the old piece of flooring and draw on it where we think the first step needs to be. This is the original piece of floor that came out of here. What we're going to do now is cut out the angle of the step and leave this bit as the bottom shelf of his cupboard.
I see.
I'm thinking, why on earth do we need any steps now?
Well, how are you going to get down there?
Right, just as a rough idea, we put the top step here.
Okay.
We take that along there like that. Okay, so there's some discussion about this top step. It's not really a step, this is just the floor. This is the sole board of the pilot house. And standing here, I think at the minute, Jack's fine, he's not going to hit his head off this bit, but he needs to step down sooner, is what Melissa's concern is. So what we're going to do is cut this piece of floorboard back to the level of the joists and put a curved step in. To figure out where the first step down is going to be.
Yeah.
So how deep should it be?
Should we, here's a question, not a statement. should we work out where the floor's going to be? What the height of the floor's going to be, because we want the maximum height possible. Maximum, like, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but you can still have a bit of this coming up through the floor.
Yeah. So I think we should work out where the floor's going to be, and then we can work out where the step's going to be relative to the floor.
Yeah. Chuck us that piece of wood. Let's just see what we got.
What I will just say as well is people probably are wondering why on earth are they doing this rather than doing welding work and stuff like that. One, it's raining, but two, we need a bit of motivation for, you know, for Jack.
Should we get involved in?
Something Jack can get involved with and make him a bit more excited about being on the boat, because he's really excited about having his cabin, so we're just sort of mocking it together so we can see what it's like. And it's just a bit of change from grinding and welding, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just to sort of...
You get so demoralised just doing the same thing over and over again.
Sort of bring our morale up.
Yeah. Not that our morale is low.
No, but it's just, yeah. It's meant to be summer. I mean, this is August. Look at this. It's ridiculous. It's grey and wet and miserable.
This isn't August.
It is August.
Is, yeah, I know it's August, but this weather is meant to be in May, March, November.
Yeah. It's sort of, it's not cold, obviously, it's quite mild, but it's wet and windy and miserable.
Annoying.
Annoying. But it means that we get to do fun stuff inside the boat, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now, can I make a recommendation?
Yeah.
That you hold it like that, right? And that you just go gently to begin with, but then you've got to get quite a bit of body weight. There you go, you have a go with that.
Okay.
Now put your other hand on the end of the drill. Just steady it, that's it. Push down and pull the trigger. That'll do. Now as soon as you hear it go like that, that means stop, stop, stop. In fact, let's wind this off because we can stop that from happening. Yeah, put it on torque setting 5, probably 5 will be fine.
Okay.
You might need a bit more to go into that wood. That's it. Now a bit less torque than that then, because it's rounding off, isn't it?
Yeah.
So here's Jack's bedroom, and he's got steps to come out of it. Yay! Temporary steps. Go on, go up and down a few times. 1, 2. 1, 2. And we've got the angles just right so he doesn't wallop his head on here. I think
He will.
as he gets older and gets taller, he's going to need to stoop. But I think that's pretty standard in most boats. You have to duck your head to go into the aft cabin.
At the end of the day, you're going to go in there on your step. You're going to go down in there, go down, and then sit on your bed.
Well, sit on your little seaty shelf. So what we've got to discuss now, have a seat there, Jack. There'll be obviously insulation and cladding and yada, yada, yada. But what we've got to decide is, do you want that bit there to be a little seat? This will all be boxed in, there'll be a door and it'll be private. Or do you want a cupboard there?
I think a wardrobe cupboard type thing, because
I think because you can sit on the end of the bed.
you get to sit on the end of his bed.
Eh?
Do you know what I want?
Bookshelf.
What do you want?
A bookshelf.
You're going to have a bookshelf.
You're going to have lots of bookshelves. There's many books. We'll be inventive and creative in our use of space for books. Good.
I didn't even understand half what you said.
We will invent and create some cool book storage.
Okay.
Cool?
Okay.
Excellent. And just like that, the sun's come out, the rain has stopped. But just like that, it's the end of the episode. It's time for us to go home. So thanks very, very much for watching. We really hope you've enjoyed the episode.
Please click like and subscribe and leave a comment about my steps and my aft cabin.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.